you want to do something aggressive early, because they have the bench only, and Enigma is like not gonna
Prepare
do much.
for battle.
At the same time, though, if they camp the Earthshaker bottom, though, it means they can't really gank the SF mid too easy. Like, Lion alone with a TA is not exactly an easy kill on the SF. Similarly, like, if you want to even gank the Clockwork, I feel like the Earthshaker has to be the one either getting a Fissure block to kill the Clockwork or using the Lion to help gank the mid lane with, like, a 2-hero support gank, so... I don't know, I feel like the Titus is fine. Like, 1v2, he's just going to be happy that he has that 1v2 matchup now that the Enigma's being picked.
Yeah, definitely. But they could probably get more if they want to.
There was a Earthshaker early today, and it was like a mix of like ganking the offlane as well as just also stacking that. Stacking for the Tide helps a lot, so that's where the Earthshaker, being near the bot lane, roaming around, being active on the map, can be really nice for this team. So
30 seconds.
we'll see how things pan out. NEWBEE make a move through enemy jungle. It's going to be Moo playing the Templar Assassin for the NEWBEE squad. Banana on the Lion. Rabbit playing the Tidehunter. Sancheng on the Earthshaker, and Hao going to be playing the Lifestealer. On the Radiant side, Universe on the Clockwork. Mid lane's going to be Sumail on the Shadow Fiend as bounty runes are coming up. PPD going to help secure the top one on the Vengeful Spirit. Bottom lane's going to be Fear on the Lone Druid, leaving AUI 2000 playing the Enigma. So
the battle
both bounty,
begins.
well, one bounty rune maybe on NEWBEE's way. Fissure to just deal with the bear. They are just so intent to make sure they get it. Sancheng immediately clarity.
Worth the Fissure.
Yeah.
So as I expected, the Earthshaker will be actually at bottom to actually help the Tide out and probably stack some Ancients, like, because he's like not really needed at top. The Clockwork is going to get levels regardless with the blocks, with his power clock, so Earthshaker will be more effective if he's actually moving around, helping middle, helping bottom, just doing some stuff for the team.
Just the one Fissure at bottom, but that was essentially, he had the clarity on anyways from his previous Fissure, so he's actually gets a lot of value out of that clarity. He gets a Fissure to secure a bounty rune and to get the block bottom lane.
Yeah, he's actually going to move back towards top. I thought he was actually going to stack the Ancients once.
He's got the smoke, so he will be looking for...
He's actually stacking the camps, the big camp first, instead of the Ancients.
Okay. Well, there's plenty of time to stack. Normally, by the time Tide is ready to go kill an Ancient stack, it's like a max stack anyway, so... Even if you don't stack right off the bat, you generally get that max stack by like 8, 9... Because it's like 8 to 10 minutes in you want to kill it. You don't have to stack right from the get-go.
This is going to be a really fun time for the Tide at bottom. He's going to get a lot of farm, a lot of experience, and he came down to the lane with a lot of regen as well, expecting that he knows that this lane he's going to take a lot of damage from the Spirit Bear, so having those extra tangles are really, really helpful for him.
So, there's a lag coming out here. NEWBEE have blocked the pull camp here, so nothing PPD can do apart from look to zone and help out as far as the lane goes.
Yeah, he go for Terror, it's going to be a level 1 wave of Terror on the Tide and just constantly trading with him.
And it already has level 2, will get level 3 pretty quickly, so with Anchor Smash, with Kraken, it's not exactly going to be an easy feat for PPD to zone him out.
This is going to be still a lot of fun for the Tide, and looking at the other side, Clockwork on the other hand is still also getting a lot of farm because of the power cogs blocking the creep, like giving him a lot of experience, and it's going to be just down to later on whichever offlaner uses the level and experience better, how they actually impact the game. The Clockwork will have a lot of opportunities to get solo kills on the Earthshaker and the Lion, but the Tide will be better at the team fights.
Universe at top lane hasn't planted this ward yet, and he's going to get Fissure blocked if he's not careful. Here comes the Earthshaker. This is like deja vu from an earlier game of mine. This exact same gank occurred there, and Lion, he's not going to get in range.
No, he was a little too far away.
If he gets, Lion almost gets himself trapped there, gets tinkered out, but Hao doesn't have boots yet as well. Nor the Hao or the Lion. Both those two heroes not having boots makes that kill and gank very difficult.
Yeah, they probably even want to consider getting a Orb of Venom on the Lifestealer to increase the kill chance, maybe. That would probably be helpful, but at this point it's just difficult for them to actually kill the Clockwork, which is level 3, boots, stout shield.
That's the thing, even if they run at him, you can still look to use those cogs defensively.
Yeah, and you look at the middle lane at this moment, the TA has taken a good lead already over the Shadow Fiend at this point, like 5 CS ahead.
Yeah.
6 CS ahead of the Shadow Fiend.
It feels like that's how this matchup should at least pan out until SF starts. Level 5, when he gets the raises, he can easily just push out the wave, use that spam, but for the early levels, it should be TA favor.
But at the moment, Enigma free farming as well, so this is going to be coming into play in the next few minutes when he gets a lot of levels, sets up ganks, push down towers.
Mu is manning up on Sumail mid lane, actually.
Yeah, Earthshakers, yeah.
Oh. Sumail, Radiant Vision sees none of this. Sumail is in trouble. The Fissure comes in. Mu goes in for one right click. One more. Sumail is dead. Oh dear.
First blood. There's nothing.
The Radiant Vision. I feel like this ward at the river. This is the wrong place to
And
plant
the
this.
clockwork as well. He didn't place his sword yet. Like this.
He just placed it
Anywhere would have actually given them vision.
He placed it on top of the Wild Wings. These Wild Wings actually blocking. I was like, wait, I saw the red dot on the minimap. I'm like, I can't see the ward. Where is the warden? But nah, he'll find it now. He's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting spot.
Easy 50 though.
Well, we've got to get to it first. These Wild Wings are standing in the way. It's like, why won't they attack it? Actually, he wants his 50 gold, that's why. Mu refills his bottle, already has phase boots.
Oh, this is gonna be a tough Sholofin game. He's gonna get ganked again anytime soon.
Earthshaker's already
TA is gonna have has his traps now, so Earthshaker can just come in with the traps.
And TA can solo kill SF, essentially. But the Earthshaker official will just make this even easier.
Where is the PPD bench? He's at bottom. Anyone has TPs? PPD has TP.
But even with a TP in, if you get a Fissure, I feel like Moo's gonna kill him fairly quickly with the phase boots.
Yeah, this is really bad. Shadowfin is barely reaching level 5. TA is like 1.5 levels of Shadowfin.
Well, Mu not looking to get too aggressive. He's not going, not really positioning at all as far as looking to go for any kind of a dive here. Enigma at level 5, approaching level 6, and I feel like as soon as AUI hits level 6, he may be going for some kind of a gank on the mid lane, using that black hole.
Yeah, they definitely need to focus their attention on helping the bench.
She just picked up a smoke already, the Enigma, so maybe Vengeance Enigma smoke gank the TA and look to get a kill there with the SF, but Clockwork for now, he's just protecting Sumail. He's like, okay, if Earthshaker comes in,
they need to.
Yeah,
seriously. And they even gave him sentries so that, like, it's really important. Like, sometimes you see players against TA, they don't have sentries early on to actually. It's important to take away the traps. Otherwise, he has traps on you, waits for the next cooldown, has 2 stacks on you. It's very easy for the TA to kill you.
And just, it's very common around this time to get that high ground vision as well with like an observer ward, so you can deny a few of the common spots with that. But not something we see coming out just yet. So Earthshaker going to swing down towards the bottom lane. No Ancient Sack yet for this Tide. Tide has well, been forced back to Fountain. Rabbit level 5.5, so getting good experience out of the offlane. 13 CS as well, but
yeah,
there's no stacks waiting.
He's doing a lot better expected.
Yeah.
Than the Clockwork.
I guess there's no stacks. Earthshaker's been busy and getting some work done.
That's the big camp stack where the Earthshaker did it. And the medium camp stack as well to the left. So
okay, that's actually pretty sizable.
That's actually still alright for if they choose to give it to the Tide.
Mu gets a DD rune now as well. This is...
Yeah, they're giving it to the Tide.
High impact here. If they can... Yeah, Tide's going to farm him. I guess want to just secure that level 6 and arcane boots as safely as possible. But AUI now sitting behind Sumail, ready with a black hole, but at the same time, black hole, you need to turn around and get a kill. You don't just want to keep Sumail alive with this Enigma being here.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, he's just under too much pressure at this point. And we talked about one thing about having Shadowfiend on Radiant side. You can have access to the jungle, but they have an Enigma, which actually restricts that problem.
Yeah. And he's going to get the camps now. I think Enigma says, well, I can take the right side of the jungle. I'll farm a little bit slower, perhaps not having all the camps.
I feel like the next move would be just to pressure the safe lane, the tower at bottom. They need to push the tier 1 at bottom so that the Shadowfiend, like, you force the enemy, move the hero's bottom to defend, and he can actually farm. Otherwise, it's just, he's under you can see the way he's playing, he's under so much pressure.
They get down a nice little observe board here, which does give that vision onto the top of the ramp.
One small mistake, he's gonna die here
from
the vision.
Well, he's pushed up very far forward. Mu considering going in here, but an AUI is nearby, but not. I feel like not near enough to.
No, he needs to be right next to him when the TA goes in.
Yeah. AUI though is looking to maybe go for a loop-de-loop around. If he goes for a smoke though, Earthshaker's in the right spot to kind of reveal it. That's the big problem right now.
Yeah, he needs to do something to relieve. Like the Shadow Fiend is just under immense pressure right now. They need to make something happen on the bottom side of the map, or at least like I'm not sure though. Like anywhere, take the fight away from the Shadow
He's
Fiend.
made a mistake. He went forward with the raise. Now a DD Moo is going on. He misses the Meld Strike though. That uphill miss, and immediately Moo retreats back.
Yeah, and he lost all his refraction, like the defensive charges from the creeps as well.
So Moo gonna bottle up, take the top rune, and it looked like that was gonna be a mistake from Smell, getting blocked in, and he just turned to fight them.
Yeah, that he had the creeps on his side. That was the...
I could just see what Sumo was thinking. He's like, I'm gonna push out this wave to get this ward down. He'd been given the 2 wards and wanted to get a high ground vision here, but to do so he put himself in harm's way. But hey, he was fine.
Yeah, it's really important for him to be able to see what's behind.
Yeah.
So the supports like AUI knew when he had to be there and when he could just keep farming.
I think NEWBEE may have spotted him plant that ward, but hey, nothing coming out yet in the way of sentries, no real detection. And
yeah, and Aoi doesn't have a teleport scroll, so he's not going to be able to help. Only PPD has a teleport scroll at the moment. Yeah, but I just feel that maybe they can actually just try like the call. It feels like a lot of teams would try to pressure the bottom lane right now with the bear plus the summons from the Enigma.
top
right away.
Universe in some trouble potentially here. Line went in to start things off. How with the phase boots can look to chase down Universe. He's salving up the cogs, or the battery assault as well as cogs, kind of hurting How a bit here, and How not going to get this kill. Nice salve, and the battery assault just making it a little bit harder for the lifestealer here. As How has gone for the fast phase boots. The Orb of Venom, that would have been the kill, I think. If
he had an Orb of Venom, I think he would have had the kill for sure.
He's going back for the Midas.
It's just like those things, you know, you make a small investment hoping you get, like one kill would have immediately repaid the item.
And even if you don't get a kill, if you just if the clockwork gets zoned out a bit because of it, it maybe pays off.
Yeah,
And you sell it later, you end up only losing 130
I think
gold.
it's a very worthy investment. Like, just to make sure that small little opportunity you get to kill, you have that Orb of Venom, secures the kill.
Especially against the clockwork, because just pushing the clockwork out of lane makes a big difference, because clockwork's really annoying if he's hitting you with cogs and just contesting the lane.
I think most of the Western carry players, like especially Envy, would have gotten the Orb of Venom.
Yeah. Oh, Envy loves his Orb of Venom. Envy, as far as when it comes to killing offlanes or at least zoning them out, that's like his #1 priority. I've seen him as Drow Ranger, like level 1, miss the first 2 or 3 CS just to zone out the offlane. Like, he'll chase them to their tower to zone them out, and then miss like 3 CS.
Prioritize shutting down the offlane.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see, but we'll see EG kind of do a play you mentioned. Like, this is okay. So no kills come their way, but they're going to go for the T1 tower.
I just felt this should have happened a lot earlier. Like, could have happened a lot earlier, so that the shadows
Dead again. Moo with a solo kill as well.
with the Invis room.
Yeah. So did not actually. So they had the ward on the hill, but yeah, he didn't actually scout the fact out that Moo picked up the invis. As bottom lane is going to be defended as well. The Tide TP in. He's got Arcanes. He's got Max Anchor Smash and a Ravage. That basically means that pushing this is very high risk.
Yeah, now it's like the thing is like they missed the opportunity to pressure the tower earlier, and now it's like Tide has level 6. Lion has his finger as well. Like any TP rotation to help the Tide out. If you don't burst the Tide down, you're just gonna pay with your lives.
Yeah, and Lifesteal just has to sit top. He's got his Midas. He's going to keep on farming. Has a TP scroll, so if a fight happens under the tower, he can TP in and look to.
It's how he's gonna have a TP scroll.
He's always looking to fight, if possible. But yeah, for now, both Moo and How getting their farm on the
Midas, do you think he's gonna go Midas? Like, I know Moo doesn't like to go Midas.
offlane. He normally goes.
Yeah, he goes Yasha.
I think he's going Blink with this money.
Yasha or Blink. Yasha or Blink.
How does Blink? How do you feel Blink goes this game?
Yeah, for the vehicle, for the lifestealer. Why not? But I feel like Midas could also be okay. He bought something.
Yasha.
Yasha. Yeah.
He often goes a Yasha BKB Deso. Like, that's a build I've seen him do.
He really doesn't like the Midas.
Yeah. He's big on the casual Yasha and then gets the BKB often afterwards. But we'll see how this works out.
It's more of like a fighting build.
He's got a DD rune as well. Moo's been finding all these.
They can go for the Rose actually with this DD.
If they want to, but
this is an observer here though. This would be risky.
I feel like it's not really necessary to do so now. You can wait till you push down a few towers and get a bit better map control. Right now they have no way to like push out the lanes easily to secure Roach, perhaps.
Yeah, but I feel like the reason why I feel like it's like an easy rush because they have Ravage. You can just use the Ravage as like a threat. They have Ravage, they're doing Roshan, we don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like we have Black Hole, but we don't have a Blink on the Enigma. Ravage and the Earthshaker Creature is just too much to handle, and that would mean that the Rosh is going to be uncontested.
Oh, you're just going to turn and hook it. The Midnight Pulse AUI doesn't have mana for a Black Hole, but uses the mech instead as NEWBEE. Finger down Universe. Not much EG could do there to save him, even with the mech from AUI. He just picked this one up, so we'll see what EG can do around this, but AUI kind of low on mana here, and that after using the Soul Ring as well as, well, that's not the Soul Ring giving him the mana, but using the Midnight Pulse, the conversions, and the mech there to try help out his buddy. They're going to try have another go at this bottom tier 1 tower, especially now with Finger on cooldown. It gets a little bit safer knowing that that burst damage isn't there, but Tide still with Ravage. The lifesteal of the TA, both with TP scrolls as well, should they want to try and fight this bottom lane.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big fight. There's Ravage, there's backup, everything is up. Everyone feels like this is my timing. Like for EG, they have the upper hand at this point because they have the mech, and NEWBEE doesn't feel they are gonna have a mech anytime soon unless Tide changes his mind to go for a mech instead of a blink. But he's actually saving up so much money that it's more or less gonna be the blink first instead of the mech.
NEWBEE just gonna farm. At this point, Lifestealer gonna wait till he has his armlet, probably the TA. Even waits for another item. Could just. I still feel like the blink is really good with the Lifestealer as the vehicle. And
yeah, I mean, if they're actually planning for the Tide to go blink first instead of the mech, you can just leave the Tide to be the vehicle, and the TA has the more farm-intensive build.
Well, if you're on Lone Druid, Midas, Phase Boots, picks up a second Gloves of Haste. So it looks like we'll be seeing
the Maelstrom build.
The Maelstrom come out, yeah.
Maelstrom and Vlad, so they have actually more armor for the whole team, and they can actually deal with the armor reduction from the TA and the Gush.
And between like the Lone Druid and the SF, there's like there's a good 2 sources of damage in the physical as well as magic damage from the SF. So I don't feel like EG are lacking damage per se. So going for this kind of more rounded, partially defensive item in the Vlad's, I think is quite nice.
Yeah, and Suna actually didn't go for the minus this game because of how hard he had the early game. He's going straight into the use that would actually help him to survive against the TA and set up kills, but setting up the Requiem without BKB against a NEWBEE lineup like this is difficult.
Yeah. And I think that's where he maybe even has skipped over the Midas, because he's like, I need my Yule's Blink BKB as soon as possible, and the Midas will not actually make that happen faster. It's just 2k gold where he'll get some of that back by using the Midas, but ultimately it takes a bit longer to actually recoup that money. Moo finds another rune, it's DD, and into the Roshan pit with the smoke. Sancheng in there as well is going to offer his assistance. At this point, Sancheng just wants the XP. Sancheng was level 1 for like 10 minutes into the game, and he's like, I kind of need this XP, so he just joins.
It's just Earthshaker. You don't really need experience early on. Fusion is just a fantastic spell at level 1. It's arguably one of the best level 1 spells.
No, I think it was fine that he was level 1.
Yeah, he's just how usually Earthshaker players do. They sacrifice a lot for the team.
So Roshan gets secured, Earthshaker gets himself 2 levels out of it, and Moo gets himself an Aegis up to 2.6k gold now as well.
Yeah, and the blink on Tide is on, so fight time. Aegis, Blink, and Earthshaker level 6.
So they can make out of this one. The Lion Blink at the other kind of next big pickup, possibly waiting for NEWBEE, who, as Banana does, have only 1100 gold for now, but having a Blink Hex or another Blink Initiation when you're going for pickoff. So because the thing, Tide doesn't want to go Blink Ravage just for like an initiation onto one hero. But EG, what's their move here? We haven't seen much out of, well, we haven't seen much out of anyone. They haven't yet to get a single kill.
They're just really passive though, I feel like the EG. They are just looking to farm because obviously they have the greedier lineup, they have the Enigma 4 cores.
In their late game, do you feel like it's a lot stronger? Enigma going to have a BKB Black Hole which can't be countered?
I'm not sure though, because NEWBEE had such a good lead right now. They are more farm on 2 heroes, like Shadowfiend will catch up later on, and he's actually already really close to the TA, like only 800 behind.
Yeah.
But he needs a lot more items to come to be able to fight properly. Like, TA is such a beast already at this point with the Aegis. And I feel this would actually be a game where he's just going to go for the Desert right now instead of going for the BKB, so he has a lot of damage to kill the Spirit Bear, to take down the Shadowfiend. Like, he's just going to be so hard to deal with.
He's not really under a lot of pressure as well. It doesn't feel like he needs the BKB in it.
Yeah, definitely though. Maybe as his third item after the Deso, then he builds the BKB.
Now EG just going to let this top tier 1 tower go, it seems, with Move having an Aegis and just not someone that EG are fine. They blink him with a Ravage as an Infest as well. 2 heroes hit by the Ravage. Universe as well as PPD. PPD tries to swap out Universe. Unsuccessful, and 2 more kills go the way of NEWBEE.
Yeah, he was good anyway. He was good at least try to save his money.
And if Clockwork gets off a cogs that pushes them back, maybe there's some tiny chance something will.
It's always like just trying to make the best of whatever you have here. Even though you're just gonna die, but you try to save. It's just the spirit of the true support player.
Yeah, the swap's back up as soon as he respawns. Like 15 seconds away, no problem. The cooldown is not an issue at all.
And at this point of the game, Fear just got his Maelstrom. Probably gonna finish the Vlads after this. Like I think Vlads is really good for this sort of game. Helps the team with the armor against the TA and the Lifestealer. Makes everyone a little bit more tanky.
Yep. Well, this is the first game. NEWBEE started 0-2 today. Also, both those losses were very one-sided stomps, so they're actually in pretty good position. I don't feel like they're that far ahead. The graphs say they're pretty much dead even, and I think with good reason. Like looking at how well Fear's farming the SF,
yeah, and
it's like dying twice as
Enigma jungling as well.
They have 0 kills, but they're doing just fine. EG, this is their slow tempo. They're getting their farm on, getting their basic items. And I know, like, I mean, PPD, like, I think when he was talking about the TI4 draft analysis and stuff, like, he doesn't really consider Lifestealer that big of that threatening of a hero. Especially, like, you get to a late game when you've got Enigma Black Hole, you've got all this physical damage, you've got minus armor from the bench. It doesn't feel like this is going to be a game where Lifestealer has a great time to carry.
He needs to rely on the team, his team, like the Earthshaker, the Lion, the Tide. How much are they going to do in the fight to actually give the Lifestealer time to hit stuff and kill stuff?
It's where they probably want to give at least some time to the Earthshaker to get a Blink Dagger, give some time to the Lion to get his Blink or a 4-staff, whatever it may be. They can't just give all the farm to Moo and Ham. I feel like it needs to be somewhat in the hands of some of these other support heroes. Or they get it by pushing these towers. They take the T1 mid tower. That's a start, but EG now looking to make their kind of first big move perhaps. They took the T1 bottom tower some time ago, but they're now making a...
top lane as well. Sumel just saw how using his BK and his bridge. He just wants to find that setup.
Well, he hasn't gone for the Blink. He's actually going Yule's BKB this game. It's a bit harder to get that Yule's Requiem.
Yeah, BKB is a must this game for the Shadow.
He can go back for the Blink later on, which I imagine he will do after the BKB, perhaps.
It feels like the Blink... I'm not sure how much he will do at the same time though. It feels like he needs a lot of stats item, armor item, so that he can stand and fight, but he just loves the Blink and use build. I know he does it almost every game.
Well, his life at mid lane. He's going to use himself up, but they're at 5
Fissure. Oh, that Fissure stopped the swap.
Yeah, they had no way to chase him up there. There was Tide had already blinked in, so that would have been a save. Little does
they do not
NEWBEE know. Yeah,
they had no clue.
NEWBEE don't realize that Fissure just secured that kill for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They was just unlucky that it was that positioning the Earthshaker was coming in and the Fissure was going to hit at that direction where PPD was standing.
Well, the fact he even used the Fissure, you've got like a Lion there who can just Hex Impale. A lot of the times Earthshaker will be like, I'll just hold on to the Fissure and not use it.
Kills the
perfect Fissure in the end.
Yeah, kills the kid. So Moo would be actually finishing his BKB. I was actually expecting him to go to Deso I was talking about, but he goes for the
much the Moo build.
The much safer build.
He does this like almost every time I've seen play TA. Yasha BKB, then he gets Deso as his third item. Sometimes he'll go like a Daedalus or MKB instead of the Deso, but normally it's the Deso.
Gives TA just... It's a very cost efficient item for how much you actually pay for it. It's just a lot of damage, minus armor, little PPD. Wow! Ravage?
Maybe thinking that someone was behind.
Yeah, they were thinking someone was behind. Yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, and at the same time, they're also realizing this is a very slow-paced game, so using an ultimate even just for a support kill, not the end of the world for them.
Yeah, and there's no immediate big objectives like
Universe, possibly in some trouble, goes for the hookshot out, will get it on his buddy AUI, and the TP out will succeed.
Oh, this is just a one kill every few minutes game. Everyone is just basically like... EG is like understandably having the more greedy draft, so they would want to take things.
The kills also haven't been very important important apart from the Sumail kills. But like the 2 kills on Universe, that kill there on PPD feel like they're not really kills that change the pace of the game. Like not like NEWBEE are getting objectives.
It's even like the kill actually favors EG because they use the ravage
Dyer's
to be
middle
back.
tower has fallen.
This is what happens. You don't have ravage. I'm pushing your tower.
No, it definitely feels like this 0-7 score is very misleading.
Yeah, and it did more harm, you know, the ravage.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if EG are planning on getting kills anytime soon. For the moment, it's let's straight farm and towers for kills. We don't have any interest in getting hero kills. Kills do not win you Dota 2.
Let me ask you one question.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has there even been a black hole?
No, there has not. It's not in his arsenal for the time being here. PPD at top, getting chased down right now, and here comes Ravage. He's got no Ravage though. Again, it's going to be just PPD, Sacrificial Lamb, but Universe looking for a hookshot. Those are creeping away, swaps out, swaps Universe in AUI. As for the black hole, but he won't get a chance to use it. The dunk from Sansheng gets himself a double kill. Hook back in from Universe. He wants a kill, but I don't think he's getting it. He's actually isolated Sansheng now. Sansheng has some enemy creeps nearby, and the SF will look to set off of the Yules. Gets the first kill of the game for EG, but they've lost 3 in the meantime. The Impale catches Universe. 4 going to be dead. Sumail's just going to flee for his life as he TPs to the bottom lane. No interest in fighting that one. That was... They thought they were going to... Enigma did not have the BKB. I was like... I saw Enigma tried to walk in.
It was like they wanted to save him, but at the same time, maybe PPD was like, just get out, and someone like, we can save you. It feels there was like 2 decisions. Like, he wanted to die, but his team wanted to save him. And it was like, they weren't working on one decision. That's why they got caught, and they're just like... You know, just one split second, like somebody is thinking twice about his decision.
It definitely looked like PPE was like just running.
Just run. And he was like really like
he wasn't even trying to escape. And then Universe was like, no, I'm running in. Like
I'm helping you. I'm going to help you.
And then PPE was like, okay, I'll swap you in, I guess. let's do this.
And the Earthshaker and the Lion just destroyed the Enigma behind.
If Enigma had a BKB, it would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah, he would have gotten a big black hole there.
Yeah, he had at least 2 heroes, probably a 3rd.
Yeah, probably even... Yeah, I think he would have probably gotten a 3-man. Probably if he had black hole, but BKB. But now he's... I think did he just get his BKB?
Just bought it.
Oh dear. Like,
he was
really,
so close to it.
Really close to it.
See what EG look to do after this, but still feels like not entirely sure if they're going to be trying to just force fights.
Yeah, but we like score 1 to 11, but it suddenly doesn't feel they're that far behind.
Just like Lone Druid and TA, almost identical farm. SF and Lifesteal, almost identical farm. Enigma and the Tide, same thing. So EG are matching NEWBEE farm for farm.
It's the reason why I was talking about, like, they don't have the they were in a lead early game, but you don't consolidate the lead with a minus on the TA. That's when I feel
this
he could have been he could have been a lot. He built his early Yasha, that's fine. He built the early BKB, but what has actually the BKB done? Like, they were so far ahead. EG didn't even want to fight.
They should have some minuses. Earthshaker, man, you got 2k gold, buy him minus.
I think the TA with the minus would have...
Radiant's
the minus would have definitely
is under
been
attack.
out already. In this pace. I'm not sure though, sometimes...
No one's really going for greedy items. Like, even the Tide going back for a mech, I'm not even sure. Like, that mech for the Tide hasn't really been that important on an item.
Yeah, PPD again.
So going to go for this defensive swap. AUI this time does a BKB. Swaps in Sumail of all people.
Wanted to swap him for the Eos, I guess.
Doesn't go for any kind of
They have
offensive play
BKB
here.
back row. They have BKB back row here.
Oh, SF going to go for the BKB. Requiem Moon, the front line has a BKB of his own, so he can get aggressive. It's going to be just a TP out from Sumail. The physical damage.
Oh my god.
Dyer's
Just need a bit more attack speed.
Attack. Radiant's
one more
bottom
right click
tower
off.
is under attack.
What was that impale banana? I think it was aiming for the item once, but...
Good. Midas provides attack speed.
Yeah, if you had a minus there, maybe. Just buy it now. 25 minutes in, it's not too late, Moo. Secure the late game.
Well... he just still has a lot of farm on... Like, they have like really good distribution of farm on all the heroes.
Yeah. Lone Druid is... And Fear's just been sitting, got him farming.
Yeah, he actually finished the Mjolnir and now finishes the Blats. He's gonna finish the Blats really soon.
This Mjolnir has helped him, well, not even keep up, he'd stay ahead on farm.
What is actually going on? He has a Basher recipe, he has a Blats recipe.
Casually. He ain't about wasting money on some team item. What is
Dyer's
that?
bottom tower is under attack.
No, it's gonna fight.
Yeah, so as I expected Shadowfin is not going to go for a blink this game. Like, judging by how the pace is going, he's going to go for evasion, which is really good against Lifesteal and TA. Those heroes force them to go for MKB instead of going for more damage-orientated items.
I feel really worried for NEWBEE this game. Like, they don't really show any signs that they're going to be taking objectives or towers.
Yeah.
I mean, this Aegis, they can maybe take a tier 2 or something, but I just feel like this game is going to reach a 45-minute, 50-minute stage, and Enigma's going to be having like a BKB, Refresher, Blink. SF is going to be Butterfly, Satanic.
The first black hole of the game will actually win EG a fight.
Yeah. Like, we're going to the late game. This game is going 45 minutes, I feel like.
Oh my god. He's actually doing more damage to the Lifesteal than the Lifesteal is doing to him. Man fight. That's actually very worrying if you actually see that.
I
Radiant's
feel like
middle tower
NEWBEE
is
are
under
in
attack.
actually quite a bit of trouble right now. They have still got the team fight heroes. They've got the Ravage. They've got the Echo Slam. Even Lion, who can offer a lot of defense control. They will be able to take objectives off of the Aegis here, but
Yeah, this is like
Dire's
this is the
top
lack.
tower is under attack.
They are not even making mistakes. It's just the
Dire's
lack of the
structures are
Midas in this sort of
fortified.
slow-paced game. Like, if you have the Midas, you feel comfortable, you feel secure. But because of that, like you mentioned, it feels like NEWBEE are worried. They are starting to fall behind, and you're just like thinking, what if when the Enigma comes into play with the Refresher and BKB, what's going to happen? They don't have anything that stops the BKB black hole,
it almost feels like they think they're more ahead than they actually are as well.
but
Like,
they're actually not.
yeah, they just
Top lane.
they don't feel like
Top
there's
lane.
any sense of urgency.
Oh dear.
That BKB not going to work against Moo. His physical damage pretty impressive now, so he does get himself a kill. And that's where, well, maybe you go for something like a Ghost Scepter on your way to your late game items for your Enigma, but I think I'm just kind of caught out the wrong place, wrong time.
Dire's
Moo with the
middle
DD
tower
rune
is
now.
under attack.
Yeah, I'm really not sure though. Now it's like EG just needs to keep farming.
Yeah, and not let things like that happen. Fear at mid lane, getting caught out by the open wounds, gets entangled.
And Bash, he gets a tangle
Yeah.
and Bash.
RNG, baby. We're going to do what he can, and Moo is actually Moo is going to be the real late game problem. It doesn't feel. I guess Lifesteal's going to have a Assault Crest, so he's starting to hurt.
You say that, but again, I'm asking myself, TA needs to come in range of the black hole to actually hit stuff.
Well,
Midnight Pulse plus black hole is devastating to the TA.
it's where it feels like they're
Radiant's top
not going
tower
to
is
send in
under
Moo and Hao
attack.
together. They don't, as long as both of them don't
Yeah.
get caught in a black hole.
I just got this feeling
Dire's
that
bottom
it's
tower
going to come
is
down to
under
one big
attack.
black hole to settle the game.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower
Even
has
though
fallen.
29 minutes in, we still haven't seen a single black hole.
It's like you say, the first one, the first one you're going to make it count. You're just going to have that first one though. He's still sitting on the big fat goose egg right now. As EG continue to play the farm game.
I'm not sure whether he's going to go for blink or he's just going to go for Refresher. Like it doesn't
Enigma?
feel, yeah, it doesn't feel he's going to actually worry about wanting to initiate first.
I feel like the blink is just nice because you don't want to get the big problem is EG or NEWBEE are going to be looking to find AUI in these fights. They're going to blink hex him or blink ravage him before he BKBs and blow him up. So with a blink dagger, he can position himself.
true.
It helps his position.
It's just too good to pass up.
Yeah, he can play very far back and then still get the blink hole onto the carries. The problem is if he tries to if he just tries to walk in, then he has to be really far forward. Maybe gets caught out by the
No,
blink dagger.
depending on the situation though, because they have friend swap, and if you have the BKB Refresher,
Yeah.
you're gonna get your back holes off regardless if they don't catch you if you're in a good position. So
And with Refresher, your first hole can be on like just one hero. if you
yeah,
really
it's
want.
like
You just hold the Lifestealer or the TA alone and get the kill, and then
yeah. Look, you just look at his skill build as well. He's not leveling up
yeah.
the black hole. That usually means that you're going for the early Refresher as well to actually support the mana play.
well, he hasn't hit level 14 yet, so he hasn't got the stats or
Oh
anything.
yeah, the next level.
Yeah, if he gets stats at 14, then I would agree, but I think it's kind of too early to tell.
Yeah, like the blink is still really good, but it's like I feel the black hole is just such a huge item that it's alright to prioritize having the Refresher at this point.
We'll have Clockwork farming up in the jungle. He's going to get caught out here. Moo can't kill him fast enough.
Whoa, that Ravage, he wanted the Ravage already.
Yeah, he didn't know how long was left on that TP. I mean, NEWBEE feel just too content to like casually throw Ravages for a support. Lifesteal at top was like just using defense to farm item logs. They have to like use these kind of long cooldown spells, thinking they're kind of ahead and it's fine and just to farm, and Well, we're going late game, and EG, their late game now includes a butterfly or Sumail Shadow Feed.
Yeah, just look at the map. NEWBEE have a lot of towers, but they're
Radiant's
just like
bottom
5,000
tower
ahead.
is under
It's
attack.
literally like nothing if you consider the towers.
They are finally starting to pull ahead for the first time this game. It's
the towers. They're getting towers.
yes, and EG I think playing a bit more cautiously now that NEWBEE have all these blinks. They've had TA, they've got so much TA can just solo kill a lot of these heroes this game. Right now, the Tide TP and does have an infested lifesteal.
Oh, if they will they actually take the bait?
Oh, Enigma's got a blink dagger here. Is
Dire's
this
top
Oh, they want
tower
to take the
is
bait.
under attack.
okay? Sumail nearby as well. Tide's on the chase here, and I think they realize this is maybe not the correct idea. Rabbit goes blinking, forcing in, and that should be a telltale sign that Rabbit has backup, and could be just the old lifestealer infested.
Oh my god!
He didn't BKB TP. If he ravaged fast, he could have cancelled that. He hesitated.
No, I think he didn't have enough time though. Like the moment he saw him, the TP was already
Okay.
because the Ravage takes a little bit time to travel to the Shadow Field.
Enigma hunted down. It's the Lion as well as the TA teaming up on that one. So they bring down this Enigma once more. Enigma's having a rough time staying alive in these fights. That means pushing high ground now. Not really.
Yeah, but they don't have Ravage.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. It's hard.
And
They don't have.
Enigma's gonna respawn with.
Well, I could see, like, you just imagine, like, the glint in Rabbit's eyes. He's like, oh, we may have this Shadow Fiend. He didn't BKB, he just went to the straight TP. 20 seconds on the Enigma, no buyback. They're just going to get this tier 3 tower. There is a whiff available, won't get used
Radiant's
just
middle
yet.
tower has fallen.
PPD. With the defensive swap, and NEWBEE will be kind of pushed back for the time being. They play things safe.
Yeah, they can't go high now with this without the Ravage. They definitely can't. It's just too risky. You lose one fight, and you're basically throwing everything away.
Yeah, EG will be back to even and probably taking a tower or two. Could even get next Roshan for themselves as well if you lose a team fight. You don't want to be giving EG the Aegis at this point. So 1 minute 45 left, roughly, on the Aegis, which NEWBEE will be looking to secure for themselves. Probably just they probably just farm for that the time being, because end of the day, right now they've got no Aegis. They're not really in a position where they can really push into the BKB black hole. EG's just hoping desperately, like, please Roshan, just respawn now. That would just be so nice if you could just do that for us, but unfortunately, it's not gonna happen.
I'm still waiting for the first black hole.
Well, it's a long one. This is almost a max duration Roshan respawn. If it was any time in the first minute and a half, it would have been okay, but or even like a minute 45.
Yeah, that was like lucky for NEWBEE. Otherwise, the rush would go around really quick.
Well, NEWBEE's still, I mean, as with Moo's farm right now, I feel like NEWBEE is still looking pretty good. Like, sure, it looked a bit scary playing towards the late game, but they've clearly got a late game plan involving Moo with a lot of farm. Hal's got himself a demon edge and will be working towards an MKB.
Check out the net worth though. Like, it's TA is 8-0, but his net worth is the same as the 100.
I mean, the net worth between the 4 carries is very, very even. NEWBEE with the slightest edge, with SF a tiny bit behind. Some of the SFs is into a Yule Scepter, which is not exactly a late game item by any means, but
it's a very good farming item of because of the mana regen. Yeah, it's definitely helping the SF farm a lot quicker.
And it's something you can just easily replace.
Yeah, and
in the late game
he moves really quick with flutter and the movement speed from the Yules as well.
So
the flutter bonus.
It's flying around the map. Still no Roshan, but it's respawning now. NEWBEE know it though. This is pretty much a max duration Rosh respawn. Aegis and Cheese. EG, do they make a move on this one? Do they try and contest it? Have they got a smoke? Doesn't look like they have anything of the sort. They actually smoke on the courier. The courier though sitting at base will come out now with an assault crest for fear. So
okay, this is probably the first black hole we're gonna see.
Blink grab it. That's the Infested Life Stealer. So Infest is gonna be on cooldown for this fight as well, but Roshan's just dropping too fast. They may still fight this if they think they've got a good position, but they're too late.
Roshan has fallen to the
Too
tower.
easy. Aegis and Cheese as well.
Yeah, they had vision there and enemies smoked in, so EG thought nothing was going on.
They had the Rocket Flare, but like I think they started attacking as the Rocket Flare vision wore off, and then by the time the next Rocket Flare came, it was too late to get.
Oh, they're gonna find a pick off here. Lion.
Invis,
Yeah, the gem. No, I don't think they gem.
Clockwork goes looking in, catches out Sand Shaker. Yoshika gets picked off to something, but there's your BKB Black Hole. How and Moo both caught inside. It's an Angels on Moo. How will get off the team though with his second life. He may still be kept alive. Great Ravage from Rabbit. It's a godlike streak for Moo. The TA can't be dealt with. Maybe he can. There's the first kill on him. SF in the buildings. Huge Requiem from Sumail. And the second kill on Moo coming up quickly. EG. The first black hole of the game. That's all it was. That's all they needed. AUI says, oh, I guess I am playing Dota 2. I guess I am here today.
The first black hole of the game hitting the 2 cores.
That's all he needs. And Earthshaker really out of... Earthshaker just...
He got caught by the hook
out
shot.
of position. Yeah, I guess they didn't think EG were there.
Dire's
That
bottom
was
tower
huge
is
there.
under attack.
Lifestealer,
Dire's
once his
bottom
rage
tower
wore off,
has
just got
fallen.
annihilated. I think he tanked most of the Requiem of Souls there. Oh, Sandshake. Oh no, they put the ward up there. Oh, he's been spotted. Won't get the fissure off.
Rex?
What are you
kidding?
doing, mate? That
Dire's
is not the
structures
clip
are
for you.
fortified.
So, buybacks, Lifestealer, TA, both going to buy back, but it's EG who are going to now pull ahead, I imagine, after that. With the buybacks, with the towers, with the team fight being won, this game gets blown wide open.
It's just like
This is why EG were...
It's so strong. Like the BKB black hole, there's nothing to stop the actual black hole.
Yeah.
And this just needs to black hole the TA and the lifesteal.
You lose the Venge on the way out there, but this is why EG were never in that bad of a position. Whoa! Bit of an awkward blink there. They're chasing after Fear, though, and Fear with TP could be in some trouble here. Move's damage is, well, actually not that scary onto the Fear. A lot of armor to hook shot into a full stack.
Wow.
Being kept alive
That
by
is like
Universe.
that is like a brother move. Oh, such
Dire's
a
middle
huge
tower
brother.
is under attack.
Big brother looking after the little brother. Well, little brother looking after the big brother in Fear's case. No chance anyone in the Dota scene is older than Fear. Maybe
Wow,
he's bullied Universe around enough to say, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to beat you up.
That is just such a vengeful play. Yeah,
Well, the Venge was dead. The Venge was dead at bottom lane, so Universe is like, don't worry, Fear, I got you, bro. Looking after...
Such a bro. BTS moment. The bro moment.
The bro moment, I don't know.
Dire's
You
top
know,
tower is
it's
under
like
attack.
your parents, they look after you all your life, but when your parents get too old, you have to look after them. That's what that was, you know? At some point, you just gotta give back.
Yeah, you have to give back to the old man, Toto. So, NEWBEE didn't get too much out of that. They got a clock, they got a Venge, and they expanded 2 buybacks.
Oh.
Look at the graph.
Is it?
It's all the way down.
Yeah, it is. That's what it felt like. The buybacks is kind of what sealed the deal there. Both carries use their buybacks. At the same time, they can now look towards their next big item. TA with 4k gold. May pick up probably an MKB to do with the evasion.
Yeah, definitely. MKB is definitely his life.
And Lifesteal is the same thing. Hal's just about got his, just 600 short. But
The TA is getting to a point where it feels like no matter how much items you have, you're not going to do anything in the fights because like Black Hole, Clockwork, and Lone Druid, it
feels like they have to have buybacks, like if they want to stand a chance, and they have to fight around the Black Hole cooldown maybe.
Yeah, but at some point you're going to anticipate the refresher.
They've got to find the Enigma in these fights, but it's so hard to do so because of just the Blink Dagger basically allowing Enigma to sit so far back.
It's just difficult for them. They need to blow up the Enigma and make sure that the Tide gets the a good Ravage. Yeah. At least if he wants to kill the Shadow Fiend, they need to Ravage the Venge as well. Otherwise, it's just like there's too many things it feels like they need to do. They need to get on point for them to win a fight. And for EG, what they need to do, they just need to hit a Black Hole.
Hit a Black Hole?
And they win.
I mean, there's still a level of execution that has to be there, because for 30 minutes, EG just had 1 kill. They had the single kill, and if NEWBEE can kind of go back to that, don't give any opportunities for those Black Holes, maybe look for some smoke ganks where, like we saw multiple times, AUI would use his BKB defensively, but he was alone, there was no targets, TA would just right-click him down. I think they need to kind of go back to that, avoid scenarios where they're going to get caught out by the
positioning out as well. Like the last fight at here, they were running up the high ground. That's why Enigma got an easy. Like, obviously it was still a good Black Hole, but they gave it. They didn't make it hard for the Enigma to get a good Black Hole. That was what I was trying to say.
They got baited in by like the Clockwork hooked in, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta help. We gotta kill this Clockwork." He just hooked in.
And Tide got a big Ravage as well. So like, it was like we can do this. Then, oh wait.
You think you're good as soon as those, as soon as that happens, but really, are you? No, probably not.
Yeah, the Midnight Pulse and the Black Hole there was just devastating.
Items being accumulated here. TA with MKB money now. May as well buy it with buyback on cooldown. 3 minutes. There's plenty of time to farm it. Yeah, so.
I think they are already rattled by the last fight. They're gonna just wait for the next Aegis.
Tide Refresher, another big item that could come the way of the NEWBEE squad.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel the Ravage would actually destroy them.
Oh.
Like he's actually the one that's saving skill points on the Ravage instead of the Black Hole because he's gonna have the Refresher soon.
It's good. Yeah, the force up. You've also got to use the max.
Yeah, you can't have mana for everything if you have Mac as well.
So Abyssal Blade now picked up by Fear on the Druid.
That's, you know, if it goes late game, you know how many times you get to say this? Lone Druid has 12 slots.
Does he really? I mean, he does, but
they use one freaking Black Hole 40 minutes.
Yeah.
What is there stopping them from going another 40 minutes? And 12 items.
But you can get 12 items, but your Lone Druid, your Spirit Bearer is still stuck at at what it is. It's not getting any more HP.
Spirit Bearer has Spirit Arrow, so you can consider going some.
Well, you got the Abyssal Blade. You can consider that one thing. And EG, they're going to 5-man. They're going to push and siege. The Spirit Bear's a problem. Tries to go with the hookshot, going to catch out too. They full stuff out the Tide as well as Sandshake. That's a sigh of relief for NEWBEE, who looks like they're needing to that looked great hookshot from him. Oh, blink in, Tide Ravage with the Echo Slam as well. They're trying to get a kill here. AUI walks in, he misses the Black Hole! Oh dear! God. They kill the Earthshaker though, they're still alive. How gets caught up by an Entangle? Luckily, the bear gets dealt with. That Hex saving his life. Great impale onto 2. Moo goes in, BKB, he wants a Spirit Bear. There's no resummon. Fear will keep the Spirit Bear alive for the time being. EG still have not lost anyone apart from the Spirit Bear.
That is a way to lose a fight, not landing the Black Hole.
I feel for him. That was not
trouble.
Good.
Satanic. Oh, he's gonna fight back.
Turns around. There's still a Hex now, and the mana drain coming up once more. Impel in 3 seconds, and without that Satanic, he's in trouble. We shatter Black Hole now. Goes for the record, does some good damage, but Moo's gonna win this fight.
God, if he had a Black Hole,
flick out, hook shot through, catches all 3 with the stun. Clockwork Universe doing a lot. He recovers the gem, and he's now going to find a way. How goes in, doesn't have a bash or anything, but has got the MKB, shreds apart the Universe Clockwork. Oh dear.
He would have destroyed them if he had the Black Hole there. He would have destroyed them.
They knew he didn't, I guess.
Oh my god.
TPD and AY looking to fight once more. The Abyssal Blade, the Lone Druid trying to bring down How, and How just locked in place. The bash combined with the Entangles, what can he do? He's going to just stand his ground and fight, but Fear and the Bear are too tanky. Alright, that'll do. Fear says that'll do. That'll do.
They still managed to pull it off, yeah.
Even with a missed Black Hole, it still goes, I would say, EG's favor in the end. Ever so slightly. The Lone Druid, I mean, they only lose, what, 2 heroes? They lost the Venge maybe at the start of the fight.
So it was like in there. Did the Venge even die? I don't think he died.
So I think it was just a 2 for 3.
Yeah, it was 2 for 3. He didn't die. I don't think he died.
They can wait the Black Hole and they can't AUI 4.7k gold. You got to imagine it's going to be a refresher.
Yeah.
He has maxed the Black Hole, so he won't have the mana for the refresher Black Hole in one fight.
Yeah, maybe you go for the Axe, I guess, or you want to go for Hex right now.
Shivers even?
Yeah, Shivers is actually quite good. Yeah,
really nice
good
against the physical damage, TA and lifesteal. Yeah, and then it gives you the mana
probably
for your
if you're richer, then you go for the Axe refresher. That will just basically mean you're the boss. You're the boss.
Okay.
Axe refresher. It's just something I like to do. It's personal.
The Axe is nice, but it does pierce through.
Yeah, it's like it goes through BKB. Why not?
BKB and the rage.
It's ridiculously amount of damage doing if you're doing the refresher with the Midnight Pulse.
Well, he says, "Nah, I'm going refresher." I mean, he has mana issues. He needs 850 for 2 Black Holes.
Did he actually sell the Soul Ring?
Yeah. He needs this. I mean, no chance of.
How is he going to have mana for it?
You get the double Soul Ring with the refresher. So that was the only way he was going to have mana. I guess he just refreshes and has to heal up at base or something. It's like if you're defending, but if you're pushing...
Either that, there's also one more way. Make arcane roots.
Yeah. You think he almost has to at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure though. It's like... He has too much mana. He's gonna have to
I think they're happy to farm though. At this point, EG are probably feeling pretty comfortable.
He's going to have to just use the black hole if he wants to. He's not even going to have to hack mana to pop Midnight Pulse. He just needs... He only has mana for black hole, refresh, and black hole, and maybe one Midnight Pulse or one stun or mech after that.
I feel like the Midnight Pulse is really important
Yeah.
as far as damage goes against BKBs and magic.
I don't know about selling the Soul Ring though. I felt they were not in a rush. They were just basically not in a rush.
Yeah, if he wants to get for double black hole, I feel like without a Soul Ring, it's impossible.
Yeah, we already know he just needs to hit one black hole to win the fight.
Yeah, why not? So he can refresh, just slowly regen some mana, and then go from there. At this point, I think he's just looking to itemize for the late game, so he can go pick up the Mystic Staff when he can afford it.
Yeah,
for that
Shivas
Shivers
is definitely the next best choice. Like the axe is just something, a luxury at this point.
Yep. Well, Roshan respawning and NEWBEE nearby. For the first time though, this may not be the most straightforward Roshan, unlike the previous three.
You better pray he doesn't miss. He at least hits one of the black hole.
Just hit one carry. You don't have to hit both AUI. Just hit something.
Well, with the life stealer in the TA, things would be easy.
Yeah, if there's only one here you got to hit. This is it. This is the one. But for now, he's gotten the arcane boots. Okay, so he bought them from the side shop. This will give him the mana he needs. If he can use the arcane boots.
He sold the mech? Good.
Dire's top tower.
I mean, the mech is handy. Here we go. Ty goes over the Ravage against BKB. But there's your black hole. How and Moo caught up by AUI. It's going to be a double black hole on the two carries. Ravage comes in. It's the second Ravage from Ravage. Is this going to be enough? Moo's looking to turn it 5, but Sumail wins it with the Satanic. 3, 4, 5 dead, and the buybacks come out. TA as well as Lifestealer back into the fray, but it's a disaster for NEWBEE. Absolute train wreck of a team fight. Huge plays coming out of AUI. He got
by the second Ravage.
It didn't matter, but the fight was already won.
Over.
I don't think he was expecting Tide to come back.
But he came close though. It really came close though, because he didn't have.
If he used it right, like
Sumail
the Ravage
almost died from that as well. He barely had time to satanic.
Even if Sumail dies, Fear was clean up. Fear was at this point. Fear is massive with his lone druid. He is doing.
He's heading towards 12 slots. He's actually
get in there. What's he gonna buy now?
Demon Edge. Yeah.
So we'll see. For EG, this is looking good to go 3-0. For NEWBEE, that'd be 0-3 with a loss here.
Who would have actually expected that? The champs.
Losing to Vici and EG, not a big surprise, but that opening loss MVP, oh boy. And it's a dataless. Picked up. Fear's damage output with this bear is going to be...
They just need to wait for the next black hole.
Oh, dear. This bear hurts. That's the thing. Like, we've seen Sumail die, and like the fight at the bottom river after they with black hole, it was just Fear. He crushes the life of the 1v1. And I think this is where EG didn't care that they were behind on so many kills, because they knew Lifestealer late game was not going to be a problem. Same for the TA. You get to this late game where Lone Druid is great against both those two heroes. You've got Clockwork for great control. You've got SF and Enigma Black Hole. It's everything about this lineup for wins late game.
Yeah, it's just the Enigma Black Hole. It's just such a big control for heroes that hit from a short distance like TA and Lifesteal. There's no answer. They don't have a swap. They don't have like silence. They have nothing against the BKB Black Hole. Like this is like a dream for Enigma players. When the enemy has nothing to stop your BKB Black Hole. You just need to hit the Black Hole. That's it.
He's loving things right now. As looks like
you might say Fear is doing the damage, but I just feel the Enigma is the key. If he hits the black hole, they win. If he misses the black hole, like the second fight, but they still won that fight. It's just less convincing.
Well, EG damage output increasing rapidly with Daedalus on Sumail as well as the bear, and see where some of these next heroes go. Enigma with cheese, so he's not going to have mana problems for sure in these upcoming fights.
Yeah, we can see the double Midnight Pulse, double Blackstone, double BKB. Alright, this fight, I have no idea how NEWBEE is going to win this fight. They somehow need to jump and kill the Enigma. Somehow.
Yeah, it almost needs like,
maybe
they have smokes?
Smoke the lion behind?
I don't think they have a smoke. They have 0 smokes right now, but even just go from behind regardless. I guess you're worried about observer ward vision, but right now it looks like EG actually don't have any wards up here. So you could theoretically just look to flank them without smoke, but that's just so high risk.
I don't know about that. It's just very difficult. Like, difficult to take a fight on your high ground already. And what about going out and trying to take a fight outside? But I'm not sure though, because if you continue farming, it's just gonna go downhill.
Yep. EG. We're pretty confident right now. They're up by 20,000 net worth and 10,000 experience. This game did not start off too great for them. It looked really bad on the kill score, though.
111.
Yeah, 111. Was that the? I think it got like 113 at one point, but it was a very misleading scoreline.
They knew what they had in the late game.
That's one of those things where, like, PPD as captain drafter was probably just saying, guys, we're fine.
It's just a life stealer.
Yeah, it's just a life stealer. It's in TA slightly more worrying, but even so, it was probably just like, there is no way these carries match up against us in the late game. Hook shot in, Universe looking to engage with Lisa Ray, forced engagement. Swap in, Enigma goes for the BKB, still look like Mullenhouse. He will have a second though after this one, gets X'd up, impales them. He's going to be dealt with, finish him off, they get the kill, Infest into, he doesn't get the Infest off. Druid now gets locked in the place, the bashes, they're tied with a Rabbit. Number 2 comes in, can Move do it? He wants Jumel, but Jumel heals up with the Satanic. Impale comes too late, and NEWBEE down to just 2, make it 1. With TA left standing, Earthshaker going to buy back, but Rax has been claimed in the top lane, with EG keeping Lone Druid and Shadow Fiend alive.
He missed. He only has 1 black hole, but it wasn't still enough. It was still enough for them.
Yeah, just take out 1 carry, and then SF and Lone Druid, they deal with the other.
This is just
The Vengeance done. The Vengeance sits there with the Vengeance aura, the way of
I don't
Terror.
know if you are talking about 113, but it feels like it's just like a very straightforward game for EG. They're gonna win relentlessly.
I look at this game and say, I feel like, I feel like at no point would NEWBEE in the lead, and I feel like
the hero composition.
I feel like the entire game, I feel like EG was in the lead. Strategically,
Yeah, it's like
this game didn't feel like a hard game for EG.
the other important point was also because I felt because we lacked the minus of the tier was also a huge point that otherwise they would have gotten a bigger lead because I didn't feel their lead was suffice. They didn't have a big enough lead to actually close out the game.
Yeah.
That was my issue. That's why like the minus would have provided them that.
Hey, even heroes like
even with the minus, like I'm thinking, even with the minus, it doesn't feel secure yet. But they don't even have that minus on the TA.
you even see games where like an Earthshaker will go for a Midas. Like, I feel like something like that could have even got them a better late game.